I promised myself to avoid this video. What I wanted these videos to be was talking about some serious problems, something that I could help people's opinions on. Even in my last video, I enjoyed seeing the actual conversations people had under the video. Stans are just such an easy topic for commentary channels. If I wanted to, I could make content for as long as Twitter exists about stans, and the problem with that, everyone knows the quote-unquote controversy about people such as Dream. Not specifically Dream, but he is the most prominent. And it's all meaningless. Nothing they say has any grounding, so why the hell would I want to talk about a non-issue? It's because what these stans do, and how they project their downright dangerous opinions to the other delusional, like-minded people there are. Stans amassed primarily on Twitter. If I had to hazard a guess, then maybe it's the small, around 2-sentence bite-sized tweets. Easy for people to use. Maybe it's the power hashtags have, or at least used to have, which ties into rampant cancel culture. Or it's just a number of people like them already on the platform. So, when all these people with heinous mindsets congregate on one platform, instead of civilly sharing their interest amongst themselves, they choose to attack, harass every minute flaw about Dream, or even over nothing at all. They mob together every second they spend awake, which is probably 20 hours a day. Most of their nights are spent searching for everything that the creator has ever done. They literally tear apart the people they idolize, presumably because they crave power and control over their idol. They can't comprehend the fact that Dream may not be the perfect creator they envisioned them being. Pushing aside how stans may have come to be, what they do when they harass these creators is what gathers the most attention and reports. And to document even 30% of the harassment would be a near impossible task for any sane man. If you task yourself with searching through thousands of tweets and trending shit, you'll need to contact psychiatric help for either encountering this level of mass hysteria, or by just how long you'll have to spend doing so. Luckily, I'm a masochist who can withstand extreme levels of stan contact. Just kidding, pussy. If you want to commit mental harm by seeking out copious levels of Dream stan content, feel free. I'll just bring out some of the things that I remember, or just what I find from looking at other commentary channels who do make videos on the biggest drama this group has created. Something that happened recently, and something that you may remember, was the vandalism of a memorial in Ontario, Canada. The location, if you are curious, was Whitefish Island, which was memorialised for being an Aboriginal settlement primarily used for trading and fishing, at least according to Google. What happened was someone or some group wrote advertisements for various members of the Dream SMP on the rocks of the memorial. Something that other people picked up on, and something that I didn't notice immediately, was that these were written in permanent marker, which can cause a lot of trouble for people who have to remove these marks. Again, this was a small group or a small minority of people who are part of a small minority themselves, that being Dream stans. One of the more notorious actions done by stans of all media is the sexualization of the characters shown in the video, show, etc. Normal cartoons of that are a bit of a grey area which isn't worth talking about right now. But of course, when it comes to YouTubers, Twitch streamers, it is wrong. No question about that. Especially when actual children are involved. Not only is that stuff wrong, but illegal. There are very little content creators who condone these sorts of things. But even if someone like Tubbo or Tommy Innit, two huge streamers who regularly interact with Dream, from what I believe, who are children, say that they enjoy it, which they don't, but hypothetically, you cannot create that sort of material regarding those creators. Again, leave it to Twitter to make pedophilia political opinion, not just as it is. Illegal. And don't think this doesn't relate to Dream. People who draw pornography of someone who doesn't consent, not right. But people defend this point vehemently, stating that this sort of thing is fine. Something that sticks in my mind will be something posted to Instagram. It's used as a coping mechanism. As much as you people don't want to accept it, this is a coping method for their own trauma. This is not hard to grasp, as you guys are so immature for not being able to handle this fact. Now, contrary to this person's belief, I don't agree, but wouldn't it be immature to not open yourself to the possibility that this has negatives? Pretty fucking harsh ones. Being a man of my own word, I'll admit, it could, to someone really disturbed, be a sort of coping mechanism. But you know what else is? Therapy, medication, not drawing porn of unconsenting figures. There are better alternatives for both the person committing the act and the person receiving. If you find yourself wanting to discover more about some of the atrocities done by these people, then I'll leave links citing various YouTubers similar to my own who have done such things. But, as I've stated previously, I'm not someone who will just give you the information of things that have happened and leave you to choose your own opinion. I want to talk about what will happen, and the consequences of the actions of various creators, and even the platforms that house these sorts of opinions. Dream has been infamous for his rampant fanbase, but people make the mistake of seeing these entities as dependent from one another, but something to keep in mind, that if one thing happens to one side, it affects the other. A lot of people think, oh yeah, that's obvious, if Dream says I love you, then the fanbase will go mad. But not a lot of people make the connection that it means if the fanbase does something, it more than likely ties back to Dream, making him partially responsible for the actions of his fanbase. This does not mean that Dream shouldn't tweet anything or say anything that his fanbase may interpret as something to latch onto, but Dream chooses to take this hill to die on, stating that he shouldn't talk about the problems his fanbase has amassed.
And so we're talking about such a small number that to me, it's not even worth acknowledging, because I just know that by acknowledging it, especially on any of my, like, there's nowhere I can post about it or where it wouldn't get like literally millions and millions. Like, it'd be reposted on YouTube, posted on TikTok, posted on Twitter, posted everywhere, and 10 million people might see it. And then now, like I mentioned, the weird people that are in that 10 million, which there will be some, are going to see it and find that community and join it and make it bigger and bigger. Like, I don't like that community. I think that community is gross. I think that community needs to stop doing what they're doing. But the thing is, by me going out and saying that, it makes it worse.
Is that right, Dream? Yeah. You'd never respond to anything bad your stands have done. You'd never attack those people. The ones who give you so much money. The people who give you the stats you said your analytical mind cares for so much. Never. Yet you're the same person who would reply to tweets loosely related to you discussing their dissatisfaction with stands, saying, and I quote, "You're an idiot." You talk down to them, right? Not to call you a hypocrite, I understand you apologized in an interview about your comments, but to defend your lack of actions by ignoring the huge issue is sad. These people thrive off of your recognition. People place your ideals and views on a pedestal and force themselves to think in a similar way. So, the stands harassing you, not just the ones drawing manipulation porn like you brought up, but the people who obsess and stalk you, there is something you can do about that. To remove them from viewing your content. To give your disapproval to accounts dedicated to documenting every song you listen to 24 hours a day. What about the vandalism? You did not choose to even acknowledge what happened. You instead chose to ignore the situation entirely. You cannot control your fandom, you can criticize it. Because when you don't, people will take the answer they want, and that can lead to problems that have developed today. Now, I pity Dream in the position he's in. I could find many small creators being the same, if not more personal and one-sided to their audience. But as you said yourself, there is a difference between big and small creators. And to quote you, Dream,
my general viewpoint is just like, yes, they're probably sick and they need help, but I can't get them that help. If I could, then I would.
Thank you for listening to my video. Now, I have no hatred towards Dream. I believe he just doesn't do the right thing in this scenario. I've never seen any Dream content. This is about his actions. Please, if you like Dream and wish to continue watching his content, I encourage you to do so. If you don't like Dream, then have your own opinions. Just open yourself to how he is a person. And if it angers you so much, I'd either block him or mute him. Then go live your own life, as he will live his.